Right here?
Yeah. So this is some of the stuff that we got from the show. Just came in. And we're at the All Guitar Network. This is a really beautiful 61 J45. Extremely clean with my favorite thin flat neck. Really beautiful.
Look at this.
A little bit of wear. Original
Pretty cool strap.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
Wow.
Let's open a few more here. Todd, why don't you help us out? Why don't we open that gold top over there and see what that looks like. Ooh! So this is, I believe it's like a 72 or 71 gold top, almost no volute. Open up that case, I think there's something in there. Oh, it's hang cards. So.
Look at that.
Pretty clean.
Very, very clean.
This is a 64 Jazzmaster clay dot. This is kind of a Lemo special. This is a 64, right?
64.
Pretty clean.
Very clean. Got the L on the plate.
Yep, L plate. Let's see what else we got here. Wonder what this is here. This is a 73 or 4 Tele maple neck. Pretty clean.
What's this one?
Case over there. I think that's a Guild. That brown case over there. This is a partially refinned, not entirely, and refretted ES-295.
Ooh, is that for me?
It probably would be.
Get Nick's pain.
I love these things.
So,
Oh, that's pretty.
yeah. Tuners were off. These are, I believe, these original tuners back on.
Back on there, look like it.
And
Which bit got refinished?
well, you know, when they took them off, we were looking at it and we thought we saw a little something over here. So I'm going to say it's a partial refinish, but it's just a stunning guitar. Early
53?
50s, white label,
52 then, isn't it? Probably.
A20350. So I think that's a white label, or is that an orange label faded? I think
No,
it's a
it's
white label.
a white level.
Yeah.
If it's A2, yeah, it'll be 52, I think.
And
I'll tell you right now.
let's see what else we got here.
Anything over here?
Well, some stuff.
Well, I mean,
There's
that you want me
everywhere,
to
man.
open.
This is Epi Casino.
Oh, we got a lot of
This
demands
is,
for those.
I think this is about a 66 or 67
very
kind of
cool.
Beatle type guitar there.
For that headstock too.
Yeah. Did we open up that F50?
Don't think we did. Let's do it.
Yeah, you might take a look and see what's in that Guild case at the end there.
Which one here? Is it here?
So this is a 61, I believe, F50, pretty early one. Tuners are changed, but a really cool guitar, one of my favorite acoustics. The Guild answer to the J200. Great neck. That's kind of something you might like there. Let's see what else comes to mind here.
Amazing.
There's a lot of kind of newer, nice things that, you know, were more affordable, that, you know, SPs and Les Pauls and things like that. This we showed before, but I will show this. This is a 58 Strat. That's really clean. And we have a stunning 56 hardtail also that's in the back. That's pretty amazing. So pretty
Beautiful.
cool. And there's a couple black Les Paul Customs. So we got to close that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go around the other side. The gold top is over there.
So this is a really nice Les Paul Custom 76, but pretty stunning. And there's another one that's about equally as clean, but the other one has had a refret. This is original frets. So we kind of go out of our way to try to bring in some of the nicest, cleanest stuff. Fender Telecaster in very rare Sahara taupe finish. It's kind of almost like a brownish gray color, maple neck. It's a heavyweight guitar, like a lot of them are at that time. When you look at the serial numbers, the S stands for 70, and the first number is the year. And just in really tidy condition. It's heavy, but you know, a heavy guitar produces a certain sound and it's very distinct. So this is one of the finest examples you see from their color series. This is a 1944 Martin D28 herringbone, and it's called the herringbone because it's got this herringbone trim around the outside, ebony bridge, ebony fingerboard, spruce top, Brazilian rosewood sides and back. Old style tuners on there, open back. This is one of the greatest vintage guitars you'd ever want to see. Just an amazing. And without me playing it, this guitar, well, it couldn't make me sound good, but it can make you sound good. 1944, right during the war. Martin Herringbone D28. So this guitar is a very early Epiphone Texan. And there are some differences between the Texan. This was really the equivalent of the J50 with the natural top. And this has a natural top, but this is still early, has a fixed bridge. This is before they went to the adjustable bridges. The scale length on these guitars is a little longer than a J50, so it has a very distinct sound. This one is very early. It's got the flared rectangular inlays. It's got the shorter headstock, and we'll show you later Epiphone Texan in another video, and we'll show you the differences. But this has the thicker logo, the shorter headstock. It's a mahogany sides and back. These guitars are fabulous sounding guitars, not with me playing them, but with you playing them. Really cool guitar. A lot of these guitars, a lot of the Epiphone Texans went to England during the British invasion, and this one is a little bit earlier than that. So this is a 61, and it's an early 61. This is a Fender Telecaster Custom, and this one is from 1974. Sunburst finish, really nice condition, maple neck. The Customs, this is the second series of the Customs. The first ones had binding around the edge. This is second series that has one humbucking pickup and one Telecaster pickup at the bridge. Beautiful example, maple neck, shows a little bit of wear but not very much, and 3-bolt tailpiece. And the late 60s style Fender tuners, they did this from the late 60s to the early 70s. Just a beautiful example. Very nice condition, shows some wear. But what's really cool about this guitar, gold parts. And you could have ordered anything from Fender and ordered gold parts. It was 10% extra. Most people didn't want to pay it. So you see very few of these guitars with factory gold parts. As you can see, the tailpiece it's worn and all that, but it's gold. And tuners, you know, just worn on the back here. But white case, clay dot, just a really cool guitar. This was one of Joe Bonamassa's very first Les Paul guitars. I think it may have been actually the first. This is a custom shop guitar, an R8. heavily flamed. Joe actually put the black parts on this. He put the Bigsby on it. It's got the aged pickup covers, but it's very, very cool. And if you look at the headstock there, it says Bonamassa on the headstock. And this is a guitar that was on Joe's tour bus. There was a painting of a guitar, and it was this particular guitar, and it was it's very highly documented. I just sold it to a friend of mine from Biloxi, Mississippi, and just something really cool. A big piece of Joe Bonamassa history right here. It's a 1965 pre-CBS Stratocaster. It's three-tone sunburst, which is, and the condition is really good. What you'll notice is the transition logo, gold logo, which is a little thicker than the logo that preceded it. It's got the pearl dots rather than the clay dots. White pick guard. And old style bridge, obviously. If you look on the back, there is really not a lot of wear. It's still an L plate, L serial number plate. It's got the older style tuners. This is a guitar that has very low miles, a few little dings and stuff like that, but really an exceptional example of this guitar. And this guitar is 100% straight. And I hope you like it. This is a 65 Strat pre-CBS and one of the finest examples we've had. This is a D'Angelico New Yorker. This is an 18-inch body. This was kind of their answer to the Super 400. 18-inch body, spruce top, bound F-holes. This is a reproduction guard. Other than that, the guitar is original. Beautiful stair-stepped tailpiece. Just very Art Deco designs. Has the New Yorker logo up on top and multiple plied bindings. Beautiful flame maple back and sides, flamey neck, Grover Imperial tuners, multi-ply binding, as you can see. And this again was their top of the line of the non-cutaway guitars. This one is from 1942. So this was an important piece of archtop history. All the top guitar players in New York at the time had to have a D'Angelico guitar. This was like, if they could afford it, this was a must. So you're looking at something that's a real piece of history. 4-pole piece, P90 pickup. It's got the older style speed knobs. This is just kind of a wacky one. A lot of these tenor guitars ended up going to banjo players that wanted to play guitar. It's 4-string. This was sort of their, entry-level jazz guitar that was acoustic electric in a tenor. You don't see very many of these. Again, there's very few people that play them. One of the guys who's using them most recently is Daryl Hall from Hall & Oates. But there's a lot of, again, they were mainly banjo players, ukulele players that played tenor already, that played 4-string. And there's no absolute set way that they have to be tuned, but they're just very functional, and they can be tuned to the higher strings of a regular guitar or tuned like a tenor banjo. So very cool little guitar, and this goes into the oddball file. The first L7s were 16-inch body guitars. There were a few different models that they did in the 16, then they went to the 17-inch. A lot of the difference was the inlays. Some of them had these picture frame inlays on some of the very early ones. Then they went to the 17-inch body, non-cutaway. And this one here is a 1963. This is a 17-inch body, cutaway acoustic in beautiful condition, solid spruce top, typical L7 tailpiece, which I used on several other models as well. It's got beautiful flame maple back and sides, flame maple neck, original tuners, Cloussons. And this is just a beautiful example. And there's had a couple repairs. This was the top of the line. The fancier and top of the line Martins always had this mother of pearl trim around the outside, pyramid bridge, There was a top crack that has been repaired. This is a repro pyramid bridge, but it's exactly right, done perfectly. It's been refretted with bar frets, but it's one of the nicest, most beautiful ones you'll ever see. And 1928, they had the slotted headstock and a flower pot up on top.
Anyway, listen,
Brazilian rosewood sides and back, quarter sawn. Original tuners, again, slotted head. This was also the embossed logo back here. But this is one of the most important guitars. Historically, this was the top of the line. They made very few. People like Jimmy Rogers would have a guitar like this, and you know, it doesn't get much cooler than this. This is a major Martin guitar right here. This was the top of the line at the time. There were no D models. This is before the Ds, so this was the largest body they made at the time, which is a 000 slotted head. This is a beautiful 1967 Telecaster, and what's really cool about this, it's still lacquer finished on the fingerboard here on the neck. You know, they went to the polyurethane after that. Still got the white wrap around the pickup. This is a maple cap, which it's a maple neck, but with no skunk stripe. The fingerboard is actually put on above the neck, where the other ones are a one-piece neck and they have a route here, and that's what the that skunk stripe is for, so they can insert the truss rod. The way they do this is they do this as if it was like a rosewood neck, where the whole board is off. They put the rod in and then they put the maple cap on here. They only did this for a very short time. Beautiful example of a 67 Tele in the cream color, Tele cream, white guard. Just a really nice example of a great guitar. And I got a really special guitar, kind of for a vintage moment. This is a 61 Jazzmaster, but this thing is so clean. It's a slab board, just one of the cleanest that I've ever seen. Beautiful three-tone sunburst, rosewood fingerboard with the clay dots, slab fingerboard, which has the rounded extended lamination, original brown case. This thing is just as clean as you could possibly get for an instrument like that. And of course my phone's ringing right on it, but I won't be interrupted. Hang on please, I'll be right with you. But look at this thing. This thing is out of control clean. Just one of the nicest ones we've ever had. Beautiful 61 Jazzmaster slab board, three-tone sunburst, an original case, hardly played.
Beautiful.
Oh.
Cool.
Going to Dallas. Yeah, guy in Dallas.
This is one of the most beautiful ES-330s, 1960, that I've ever seen. This is got the two black P90s. It's an ES-330 TD, which is the thin double pickup. Dot neck fingerboard, totally original guitar that's just in stunning condition. One of my favorite models. They're lightweight, they're completely hollow. Different from the 335s, got the ABR1 trapeze tailpiece. Just an amazing example of one of the most beautiful 330s I've ever seen, right here at the All Guitar Network, Norm's Rare Guitars, and this is the Vintage Guitar Minute right here. Very cool guitar. Okay. So this is one of the most beautiful Gibson harp guitars that I've ever had. This was also owned by the famous bluegrass picker Dan Crary, and just an outstanding instrument. There's a number of people that play these and know what they're doing on these. I don't, but you know, it plays like a regular guitar on this, and then there's these strings that you can kind of hit and then play chords, and you know, play the bass note here and then play the chord on this. And as you can see, it's got the trapeze tailpiece in a really nice condition. This is turn of the century, probably around 1910, 12, somewhere in there. Just a beautiful example of a really rare Gibson instrument. This is kind of museum quality. And here's the letter from Dan, you know, just explaining a little bit about the guitar.
Great.
And it has its original case, where a lot of these, you don't find them with the original cases. Just an amazing example of a great guitar. Listen, I don't mean to bother you here, but and this is a 1947 Martin D18 complete Canon. Had a neck reset. Other than that, it's a nice straight guitar, big neck. I've got gloves on, but this thing still is a monster sounding guitar. 1947 D18, mahogany sides and back, rosewood fingerboard and bridge, tortoise guard, spruce top. It's what you would want in a Martin Dreadnought. Just a really great guitar and a cool collectible right here at Norm's Rare Guitars. Okay, this is a really cool Gibson Granada Master Tone from 1925. It has a Harry Sparks 5-string neck. You know, most of these were tenors or plectrums, and it's just, the guy did a beautiful job on the neck. This was also owned by Dan Crary, who's one of the most famous bluegrass players, played with Bill Monroe, and he played with Marty Stewart and all kinds of people. Just a very cool banjo, and it was owned by Dan Crary, and here's, if you want to take a picture of that, you can get the specs on that.
Yeah.
If you're a bluegrass fan, this is a killer banjo. I wish I could demo it for you, but I don't know how to play banjo. But this is a really great instrument, gold-plated, just stunning master tone. And there you go. Okay, this is one of the coolest archtops ever. This is a 1939 Gibson L5C, one of the first cutaway acoustic archtop L5s. Got just the beautiful, you know, blonde finish, beautiful flame maple sides and back, the Bakelite tuner buttons, ebony fingerboard, the script logo Gibson, and the flower pot up there. Just an amazing guitar, one of the most beautiful archtops ever. Right here, and it's got the original tweed case that came with it. If you like archtops, this is it right here. It's one of the most beautiful ES-330s, 1960, that I've ever seen. This is got the two black P90s. It's an ES-330 TD, which is the thin double pickup. Dot neck fingerboard, totally original guitar that's just in stunning condition. One of my favorite models. They're lightweight, they're completely hollow, different from the 335s. Got the ABR1 trapeze tailpiece. Just an amazing example of one of the most beautiful 330s I've ever seen, right here at the All Guitar Network, Norm's Rare Guitars. And this is the Vintage Guitar Minute right here. Very cool guitar. Okay, here. And this is a 1971, very early, original Dan Armstrong Plexi guitar. And these guitars, what's kind of cool is some of them have multiple pickups, and you can just slide the pickup out and put another pickup in. It's a plexiglass guitar, rosewood fingerboard. These things sound great. Keith Richards uses one of these a lot. Just very cool guitar, really nice shape to the body, and a beautiful example. This was owned by a guy named Doug Messenger, who actually played with Van Morrison. Very, very cool guitar. Here it is right here. This is a beautiful 1967 Telecaster. And what's really cool about this, it's still lacquer finished on the fingerboard here on the neck. You know, they went to the polyurethane after that. Still got the white wrap around the pickup. This is a maple cap, which it's a maple neck, but with no skunk stripe. The fingerboard is actually put on above the neck, where the other ones are a one-piece neck and they have a route here, and that's what that skunk stripe is for, so they can insert the truss rod. The way they do this is they do this as if it was like a rosewood neck, where the whole board is off. They put the rod in and then they put the maple cap on here. They only did this for a very short time. Beautiful example of a 67 Tele in the cream color, Tele cream, white guard. Just a really nice example. We're here for a vintage guitar moment, and this is a vintage guitar moment right here. This is Fender Broadcaster number 84, and it was owned by Leon McAuliffe, who played steel with Bob Wills and the Texas Playboys back in the day, and he was a good friend of Leo Fender. And so this guitar was given to Leon by Leo, and it's pretty cool. It's been refretted, and this pickup has been rewound, and it's got repro tuners, but it's got the original tuners in the case, and I have the original frets that the guy put in order on a board in case somebody ever wanted to put them back in. But if you're using it, I wouldn't do that. This thing sounds ridiculous. It's got the vibe. It's just a really cool early piece of Fender history right here, number 84 Broadcaster. So Beatle fans, this is one of the rarest of the Beatle guitars. This is a Rickenbacker 325. But what's really cool about it, it's got the F hole, the Rose Morris hole. A lot of the guitars that were exported to England had this F hole as opposed to the diamond hole or the cat's eye hole, whatever you want to call it. Really small guitar. It has the Fender, the Rickenbacker vibrato unit. It's in remarkably beautiful shape. It's a very small guitar. I'm a big guy and it really looks small. But just a beautiful guitar. A little bit of wear over here, but beautiful fire glow finish. That's kind of the Rickenbacker standard. And it's just one of those guitars that who wouldn't like this if you're a Beatle fan? Okay, so of all the archtops, the king of the archtops was the D'Angelico and Stromberg, and of course Gibson with their Super 4s and L5s and all that. This is a cutaway tenor guitar. It says Benny Benjamin here right on the end of the neck. It's cutaway. It's got stunning wood. I believe the binding was replaced. That happens on a lot of these where the binding kind of cracks, and so somebody did the binding job on it. Great guitar. If you're a tenor player, this is one of the coolest tenors on the face of the earth right here. Beautiful XL cutaway tenor, D'Angelico. Original tweed case. This guitar is a 1965 Epiphone Sheridan. This was their top of the line of their semi-acoustic electric. And it's got the beautiful gold plating, multiple bindings, mini humbuckers. This would have the rosewood fingerboard. This was sort of their equivalent to the Gibson ES-345, except the 355, most of them were stereo, had the baritone. This is mono with a rosewood board. Tree of Life up at the top. Another beautiful example, amazing condition. Original Epiphone case with the blue interior. It's kind of a gray with a blue interior. Same case basically as like the Gibson 335s, but with a different exterior and interior. And it's got the short Epiphone vibrato tailpiece. It's a very cool guitar. And yeah, let's do one more. Let's do this.
What's the run?
So this, as I recall, is probably the first year. It's a 1954 triangular sound hole. It's the Town and Country. It later evolved into the Rancher, and it was orange, and some of them had the G brand on it and all that, but this is before that. And it's in beautiful shape. Original gray case. And just a very cool piece of Gretch history in terms of their acoustics. That sound hole is really cool. There were some guitars later on that followed using these kind of holes, and Zamitis sometimes had like a heart-shaped hole. This is kind of that triangular sound hole. It's very cool. Spruce top, rosewood board, very unusual bridge. It's very cool. So this guitar is pretty sparkly over here. This is a 1957 or 8 Gretch Sparkle Jet in amazing condition. One of the cooler guitars, associated a lot with rockabilly. It's got the DeArmond pickups, Melita bridge, beautiful sparkle top, a great example, and it's got some of the original hang tags in here as well. One of the more beautiful Gretch guitars in the solid body, but they're sort of semi-solid and really cool. Great example. So this is a super vibey SG Les Paul Jr. And as you can see up on the headstock here, it says Les Paul. The very first of the SGs were called Les Pauls. And this one's got a lot of vibe to it. It's very lightweight. This thing growls and sounds incredible. Total simplistic, one pickup volume tone. That's it. Just a really cool guitar and a really nice example. SG Les Paul Jr. All right, guitar fans, this is a 1961 SG Les Paul Custom. 3 PAF humbuckings. Fretless wonder. It's got the smooth neck join where it joins. Later on they had a little lip right here. Just a beautiful guitar. Low frets, but it plays great. Gold parts. Just one of the prettiest guitars ever. And even Hendrix used one of these briefly at one time. So ebony board, you know, lightweight. It's got the Lonnie Mac, what they call sideways vibrola, and original case. Just a beautiful example. So this guitar is a 1960 ES-345 in stunning condition, beautiful top as well, really beautiful flame, amazing 2 PAFs, stereo with the Varitone. It's got the old style skirt knobs. And this one is hardly played, and it actually has the original tags as well as the original receipt when it was bought in 1961 at Ernie Ball Guitars. It's one of the most beautiful semi-acoustic electrics ever. ES-345 in just remarkable condition.